What's happening? It's episode 200 of the Mr. KnowItAll podcast, and I got a whole lot to tell y'all about. The Eagles are champions, and I'm still sexy.
Okay.
Guess the
One
fuck
out of two
what?
ain't bad.
I got some guests in the room, and we gonna talk. God damn it. Welcome me back.
I don't mean to interrupt you.
No, you don't interrupt this. Welcome me back. They're going to welcome me back. Everybody welcome me back. And I got a whole lot of story to say. So episode 200 is coming at you right about now.
I said no more goody two shoes, no more Mr. Nice Guy. Fuck you too, it's likewise. This is what they left me in when they ain't choose the right side. Red inside my sight lines, feeling this in my mind. Venomous synonyms, nigga, I become a python. Cause y'all really push me to the edge. Ain't no more rebuilding once it's fire on the bridge. Keep an eye out when trying to feed a dog who ain't been fed. Cause after you feed them, they might use the strength to bite your hand. It's crazy, I know. Thinking how could they do it? Play with negatives. Way too long and they show improving that. No more goody two shoes. No more Mr.
Now
Nice
y'all can
Guy.
talk.
Fuck you too, it's like
Episode 200. Hey, it's a
I'm
milestone.
not here, yo. You talking to
This is a milestone.
Oh, all right. Y'all hear her?
I can hear her.
Oh, okay, as long as you can hear her.
I can hear everybody. This is a milestone episode. You know, because before I came along, right, as the social media manager and the curator, he said 150 was going to be it.
We done did 50.
And by the grace of God
Praise God.
and a lot of time,
A lot
we
of-
at episode 200. That part.
Talking.
Hey,
I can tell you've been watching old episodes because I said that shit in another episode, too. I said that shit in episode 150.
you know I watch everything, right?
I know.
You know I got receipts for days. My receipts is longer than the CVS receipt. So what I'm going to
That's a long-ass receipt. That's a long-ass receipt.
Whole lot of nothing on a piece of paper.
I know. What the fuck you do that shit?
Yo, they just wasted trees on them CVS receipts. That shit is longer for no reason. They be like, thank you for shopping at CVS. Come again. That's most of the receipt.
The survey number is
Complete the
X,
survey
Y, and Z.
to win the $20
Yes.
gift
You
certificate.
can buy one
You
thing and
never
it,
win.
When you come back, we will probably have
Mike.
what you bought today. So come back in a week. It's like a letter.
No, it just, but it be coupons on top of coupons.
it's
That's
like a
kind of
jail letter. You know what I mean? Just a bunch of words on there because you ain't got nothing better to do.
what you
I'm
know.
saying?
What you know about a jail letter?
Unfortunately.
Hey, listen, man.
Nah,
I would advise you to stay. I have had a life before today, okay?
You would have
Thank you.
to find some business in mind.
Yes.
You was about to say, stay out of my personal.
Stay out of my
business.
personal
Stay out of my personal business about my jail letters and shit. Yo,
You know, it come on that yellow paper with the lines.
Oh my God, the yellow
use a legal
paper.
pad?
I used to get
Why
like
they
at
use a
least 4 at a
legal pad?
time. Oh my God, like Jesus Christ.
On a legal pad
got
of
a
all
legal-
things. You did something illegal,
And
but
that's
you
why
want to
they
write on the
write
legal
the legal
pad.
I really,
Wait. And the letter start off like, to my baby. I'm writing this at
Thursday, February 20th, 1:35 a.m.
song.
that shit sound like a
Or
fa-
page
From
letter.
listening to yeah.
Artist.
that shit sound like
I
fab.
just left the yard.
No. I just left the law library.
Looking at the pictures you sent.
Trying to get hit a
Shit,
pill for my
shit
case.
sound like fabulous song and shit. Baby girl, you know my situation.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yo, so look, I'm here, right?
My bad.
I
y'all.
didn't
My
even
bad.
See you.
thank you. It's nice to be seen.
Welcome back.
Hey.
It's nice to be seen, man.
You been gone for a minute now. You
Gotta-
back with
I
the
know.
jump off.
Yo, it is
Hey.
April.
Goons in
It
the
is.
club, case something jumps off.
Hey.
I'm not a goon.
Somebody is in they intoxicated little Kim bag and shit. I'm sorry.
Woo.
So the ladies did a little live and a little podcast
Nothing
beforehand.
we do little
Don't,
bit.
yeah.
No,
No.
we're not little.
That's that
Things for the big queens.
Big.
Oh shit.
don't dim our light now.
Big, no small.
The lights is bright in here. Don't
Big-
dim our
Little
light.
ones.
Don't dim our
Big
light.
live, not the little one. I
Hey,
respect it. Big live,
star,
not the little one.
little one. Know what I'm
Look.
saying?
So look, I haven't even introduced anybody yet, right? They've just
It's
taken over.
episode
They've
200.
just taken over the show, but I've needed this energy now for a while.
Wait, man, listen.
But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play a little diddly for you.
Uh-oh.
Diddly. You gotta be careful.
I
Just
know,
say
yeah,
song.
that's too close. Just a song. It's a song. It's a song. You know what I'm saying? If you want to hear it,
Well, you know, in the video,
welcome.
we ain't gonna hear all
Welcome.
this.
Welcome back
Ooh.
to episode 200 of the Mr. Know-It-All podcast. And guess the fuck what? I am Mr. Know-It-All. I am here. I am alive by the grace of God. And God damn, am I good at this.
Only do it.
On a regular basis,
Hey.
I wake up and I smile.
Ooh.
And I say, Lord, look what you did.
Hey.
Oh, man. And then I look at myself and I said, look what you've upkept. Blessings on blessings. My 444s always rain upon me. My 1111s always rain upon me.
Hey.
All my angel numbers are in place. And I am your favorite podcaster's favorite podcaster, even if you didn't know that he podcasted. As well as podcasting and multimedia's lovable, smart ass. Give it up for me.
Hey. That part.
I'm going to introduce them
hey.
to my
You gonna
far,
introduce the
far left.
queens. Get it
To
right.
my far, far left. Let me start. One of the podcast Link Live show panelist. She's always in the mix. As foxy as she want to be. Baby hair on top of baby hair. Should be swooping and swerving. 1/3 of turkey talk.
A little more than that, but okay.
It is.
Half of turkey talk. Half. Go ahead.
Ty, you definitely in turkey talk.
She half of
It
turkey
is
talk.
Dana K. And next to her, former podcast partner on Barcast. She always talking about the buns.
Wait, what?
That's the name of your single. I don't know. What? Just song, right?
That's your song, baby.
You know, I got the buns.
Hey, nigga, you can't have none. You ain't got the funds. Never
She
been
is
a hoe, but I
always-
gotta keep a price tag.
Definitely on the rights to that music.
Like that.
She's a vibe in a bottle. It is her. Some people know her as Star. Some people know her as Starletta. Some people know her as Star Heart. Some people just know her as Steezy, right? Stizzy. It is the impeccable, the unforgettable Star.
Hey.
And right to the left of me is the champion, the returning champion.
MVP.
The MVP, the one that does what she does because it needs to be done. The one, the only. She asked me to drop the last name, so we just gonna go with Taya!
Hey, I'm back.
Get with us on IG at Mr_Know-It-All_pod. The Facebook fan page, the Mr. Know-It-All Podcast fan page. Mr. Know-It-All Podcast on TikTok. And please, as always, send all of your fuckery, duckery, and schmuckery over to the Gmail account at MrKnowItAllPod@gmail.com. That's MrKnowItAllPod@gmail.com.
Hey,
Wow.
we here.
So, the first thing that you're probably saying is, what the fuck? Where have you been? It is April, my nigga. You did podcast every week. Let me sit up for this for a second. Let me explain to you.
Put your headphones on.
Yeah, let me put my headphones back on. Sorry, but I had to take them off for a second, right? The cord is a little short. Pause. Not that, whatever. I don't give a fuck. Honestly, at this point in my life, whatever you want to think. Whatever you want to think or feel about me, I don't give a fuck.
Oh,
As you
boy.
can see, we're in a new area or whatnot.
Yes.
I'll get to that later on.
No, you don't.
The first thing that I'm going to talk about is the fact that if the devil crawled out of hell and threw a body on and said, I'm going to punch one nigga in the face repeatedly, he chose Mr. Know-It-All.
Okay.
But if I wasn't solidified in all the faith that I am, I would have stayed down. So give it up to me for that. Hold on. Sorry. Give it up to me for that. Secondly, let's just start at the top of the year. All right? 10 days into the year, one of my parental units was called home. That fucking sucked. I don't know if any of you have ever lost a parent, but my father passed away. And to be perfectly honest with you, we wasn't really like this. My pop had shit going on forever. But when you lose a parent, it feels like something is taken away from you. Like, it's the weirdest shit in the world. Every day I feel like I wake up and something's missing. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people don't know or understand that. They look at it and say, like, well, some people, revere their mothers more, and they look at it in that way. My thing is that what I'm going to tell you is that when the person that created you is no longer here, it affects you in a way. So that was the first, yeah, nigga, take one of these. Take one of these to the face. Like you whatever. But shout out to Senior, Keith Anthony Saunders Sr. No matter what, you realize that you love your parents. So, and the ones that you have left, or if you have both of them, give them a hug. You know what I mean? Shout out to that. Absolutely. So a little bit after that, right? I am in a position now, I guess I can get to what I was talking about before, where I am no longer in the basement of the house that I lived in, because now I am in a relationship transition. So to whereas once I was married, now I'm not. So that kind of happens. It's none of your business. If I know you, you know my story. That's it. You know what I'm saying? But during that transition, I'm looking for a new place, and I find a place, right? And it's a go. And it's like, oh shit, you got a spot. And the spot is, I map it out. It's a loft. Fucking 3-story loft. It's a...
Yeah, what heck? Because I was decorating that loft in my head.
Yeah. Honestly, I was hoping that you
Show
did.
me that loft. And we was like, oh yeah, you could do this over here.
Yeah, listen, I was thinking the same shit. I was like, oh, that's going to be a vibe or whatnot. 3-story loft, all open space, all open concept, showing pictures and shit. Money paid on it. The Friday I went to go move in, they say, oh, well, it's not ready yet. I said, what you mean it's not ready yet? My nigga, it's supposed to be ready. I told you when I was moving in. Yeah, come to find out, the old occupant is squatting in the loft. Yes. I can't make this shit up. The old
like the corner.
I mean, it's
what? The corner of the show?
Yes.
You're lying.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, people squatting that don't belong there. It's just like the corner.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
The inside look like the corner.
No. It was more along the lines of that's what it was. It was squatting going on. The motherfucker was squatting in there. Couldn't tell me who it was at first, but here's the problem. It made me mad because I'm like, all right, why didn't y'all tell me that before I put my money down? Long story less long, I drove all the way to Hackensack, New Jersey to receive my refund. I got all that back. During this entire tumultuous time and whatnot, my marriage is ending, my father is dead, and now I'm homeless. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I'm in between. My shit's packed. I'm ready to go. So it took me another month after that in order to, get things together and geared up in order to go. During that time, I can't make this portion of it up, right? I'm going to be transparent with the Mr. Know-It-All podcast. And if it's too much, maybe I'll cut it out. I'll
You don't know
talk.
how to edit. But
Yeah. No. I'll edit it. I'll edit it if it
No,
needs
no.
to be, right?
no.
I'll talk to my constituents after this and we'll talk about it, right? So
Me.
I begin to have dizzy spells on a regular basis. Thinking that maybe something is wrong with my heart, maybe something is wrong with my blood, cholesterol, blood pressure, anything, right? So I go to the emergency room. You go to the emergency room, you're like, all right, what the fuck is going on with me? They run CAT scans, check the blood and all that. So sitting there and there by myself, mind you, this is probably a weekend off of everything that was going on before. And they come back and they tell me, hey, look, we found something on your brain. I'm like, okay. So now I'm scared to death because I'm sitting there by myself. I'm like, what the fuck is you talking about? Found something on my brain. You know what I mean? Well, I know it's massive because I'm a fucking genius. You know what I'm saying? Like, so what are we talking about? Like, what did you find on my fucking brain? There is something that happens with, and it's a lot of male-based situations where sometimes there's a tumor
I
that.
thought you was hard-headed.
Well, yeah, yeah. They found that out after they told me all this shit, right? So they tell me that I have a small mass on my pituitary gland. Now, when they tell me this, it's like so your pituitary gland is a gland that controls your functionality, like those unwritten rules to breathe, to go to the bathroom when you need to go, to eat when it's time to eat, to not eat too much, to you know what I mean? It generalizes. So it's not the cognitive overthinking thing. It's the thing that keeps things rolling. Now, here's the thing. The good news is that this doesn't affect any of your cognitive abilities or the thing that you got going on. But what it does affect is your vision. So it can make you ever see people and they're extremely cockeyed, probably because they've had something that they hadn't had diagnosed. So what happens is that these things happen. Now, it could never grow, could have always been there, but it could. So that's kind of what I'm dealing with or whatnot. And then, you don't really tell anybody. You tell somebody you got a tumor in your brain. Oh my God, everything. Relax. It's fine. You know what I mean? People are, if it gets bad enough where I have to get some sort of surgery, it's through the nasal cavity. So it's nothing super duper major. And it's another story to tell. Like, I'm all about.
Thank God for that.
Thank God for that. Yeah. Matter of fact, oh shit, shout out to that. Thank the Lord. So this is all going on while everything is happening. You know what I'm saying? My father's gone. My marriage is ended. I'm moving. Now I have a tumor on my brain. What the fuck? But then I have to look on the good side, of the bright side of the dark night and whatnot. I got an offer to get a different position at a job that'll have me kind of work less hours and less situations. My son is still, doing well in school. These things I'm kind of looking, I finally find a place, shout out to where I'm at now, you know what I'm saying?
Nice.
And
really nice.
You know what I mean? So I'm here, I'm making it happen, and the Podcast Link live show is coming up.
Hey.
And throughout my absence, and throughout my absence and all the other bullshit, my partners have held me down. Shout out to Ty, shout out to Hank, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to the entire Podcast Link live crew that's doing everything and getting everything going. May the 4th, make sure you get there. The King's Cafe.
We got a lot to celebrate.
Yeah, absolutely. So over the past 4 months, this is what I've missed. So every time that I was going to do something else happened.
Yep.
So even up until last night, as you can notice that I still have a partner in crime that I do my podcast on a regular basis. Kelly Q is not here because Kelly Q is sick. So she came down with the flu, or with the flu or the cold or whatever it is or whatnot.
No, we're not going to put the flu on.
All right, no flu. Just a sickness.
Just a cold.
Head cold. She ain't want to get nobody else sick, so I appreciate that. But luckily, Dana, Star, and Taya have graced me with their presence.
That's right.
In a new spot. So I am so happy. I am so grateful for that. I ain't gonna hold you, man. And another thing, listen, I'm always transparent. It's been listen.
I know.
Go ahead.
It's been a lot.
It's been no. I mean, a lot ain't the word.
No.
It's been a dry 2024.
And then you
Which
was
means
so
no. Which means I haven't had no sex.
Shit.
But wait, that might be
In 2024.
in there.
How you said what?
Oh,
Didn't get that long.
I'm gonna blame Dana. I'm gonna blame
You
Dana.
gonna blame
again.
Dana for
No,
me not getting my sex? What she gotta do with it?
No. Nobody clipped this either. I'm talking about for the rum. The rum got everybody in here just telling it all.
Yo.
I just had a theory.
Okay, what's the theory?
Oh
That
yeah.
maybe you didn't get the loft, right?
Yeah.
Because can you imagine you had the loft
Yeah.
and you come home with your juicy couture?
He got a juicy couture
They
best
got a
set, y'all.
juicy couture set.
Girls get everything, and it's the greatest shit in the world.
Black. It's
The
black
pillow
though.
is
It's
Black on black.
It's black.
It's
It's
Yeah.
black.
super black. So then we
His
could.
pillows say juicy.
He
y'all.
only got it black so we could know when he really finally did do something. Because now we got white spots.
Oh my God! God damn it! Oh Lord! Really? This what we doing?
But if you would have came home with a little bag to your juicy couture and a squatter is
Kitchen making a ham and cheese sandwich like, sup, bro?
Eating your chips.
or
Eating your
hide-
chips.
or hiding in one of the closets and pop out.
That's a wild joint.
Big stroke. That's crazy.
Yo, that's a wild joint. Damn, that's a wild
Could
joint.
have had a squatter on the juicy. I'm just saying, you better be grateful.
Wow.
A squatter on the juicy is crazy. Why should it be a squatter on the juicy?
Juicy, not a squatter.
Not a squirter? Okay.
Oh my God! Oh, wow.
That's a tragedy.
I see where we going with this. I see what type of day that this is gonna be.
We just happy to make you laugh.
We just
Thank
happy
you.
to
I
make you
no,
laugh.
I really appreciate
Oh,
that.
yeah.
You know.
Oh my
I would
God.
rather you be homeless and alive than dead on a juicy couture.
Oh no, I'd have shot that nigga. I don't give a fuck.
Oh,
What
I'm
the?
talking about from the brain tumor.
Oh, yeah.
Man, see, my crude humor makes me want to say things like, remember that Family Guy episode where Peter had the tumor, and he was like, I'm a tumor. You gotta think about that just distract you from the fact that
Oh my
a
God.
tumor.
Yo.
You know, when you think about the tumor, you just gotta hear, I'm a tumor.
Hey.
So let me ask you a question.
Singing that one.
All right. So what you call it? This is not a normal episode or whatnot. There was so much to catch up on. The Eagles won the bowl. You already know or whatnot. Big time Eagles. Right. So you already know what
E-L-E-S.
Eagles. So you already know what time it is. You already know what time it is. The belt is here. The championship belt is here. It is. I ain't gonna hold you, man. People in Afghanistan do the greatest shit in the world. Like honestly, I ordered.
That's where it was.
Yeah, I ordered that shit in
Give us
Afghanistan.
free.
Yeah, now that what's the name died? What's his
Yo,
name?
Yo, get her the fuck out of here, yo. Don't give her no more alcohol. The shit that she just did is out of control. What she just said is out of pocket. Like I don't even understand where that came from and whatnot. I said Afghanistan. She said give us free. What the fuck? That's not even the same thing. Yeah.
I want to wear this paper towel too.
Did you just did you spill something?
No, I want to take this home with me.
Did you? I just got that today.
But you got a whole peg.
Star has to leave because
Go ahead.
she has another
Paper towel?
responsibility.
Want a roll of paper towels too? Go ahead. Please take a roll of paper towels. Hi.
It's a nice looking. How many you got in there?
Yo, no.
They are nice dishcloths though.
I know they are nice dishcloth. Can I at least?
You don't need all these dishcloths. You ain't washing no dishes.
I'm not washing dishes.
No, you got paper plates.
No, I got bowls in there. There's a bowl in the sink.
Yeah, that you didn't wash. Case closed.
All right, we don't see the part that I got to cut out here. Because I didn't have I had a cloth.
Got a double pack of Pop Olive.
Yo, this is crazy.
Oh my God.
I apologize, y'all. Like this is the.
Hey man, you know.
All right, Star's leaving. Thank you, Star. I
Star
appreciate
is
you.
leaving.
Love you dearly or whatnot.
Bye.
Make sure you close.
They will be closing their cake. I'm
You gotta unlock the door. You gotta unlock the door and then
She gonna slide
Yeah. No, unlock. There you go. And then hurry up and close it.
Be safe, baby girl.
All right. So, because it locks back automatically. Do the same thing with the one downstairs. All right.
That's my twin, y'all. She leaving.
Star exit the room and whatnot.
Hey,
Yeah.
bye, Star.
So yeah, that was hilarious. But
You can't make this shit up.
can't make it up at all.
Hey, nope.
So what the hell? Because she took one of my dish rags. It's crazy.
She really took one of your
She took one of my dish rags. Oh, let me get this because in a roll of paper towels too. She took a roll of my paper towels. I just bought that shit today. Like
Yeah, the roller paper towels. Like
that's
she
nuts.
going to Restaurant Depot. She could have got her own paper towels.
The old roll of paper. It's a fucking 6-pack.
About to go to
She literally about to go to Restaurant Depot.
Yo, that is some crazy
Know what I mean?
ass
The Crush.
shit.
Shout out to Crush Lambs.
So
But listen, go ahead.
let me ask y'all a question and whatnot.
Yes, sir.
So
It's your show.
I had this question lined up, right?
Yeah.
You know, just on the catch up type thing. I'm sorry, I'm not here to talk about Donald Trump, Just Hilarious, Barack Obama.
We already talked about
I'm
Just
not
Hilarious.
talking about none of that shit right now. What I do want to talk about is something that I want to talk about. Would you rather never like we were talking about, you know, the situation, medical condition, you know what I mean, having something, you know, going on with your brain. Would you rather forget a year of your life every day, but have the greatest orgasms that you've ever had regularly, or remember everything and never be able to have an orgasm again?
ever again? Like how you get to
Like,
have to
like
the
ever
orgasms
again.
here.
Huh?
So it doesn't balance out because
It does.
you said forget everything for a year, but have the best.
No. I forget everything for a year. Forget a day.
Just a day.
Forget a day. Forget a year every day. So forget 1 year every day.
12 years.
For a year
Mhm.
and no orgasm?
No. Right. So put it like this. If you're forgetting something, maybe a year is too much. Maybe say a month. Forget because it's too many years. About 30 days and you're done. Every day you forget a month out of your life, but you have the best orgasms ever.
I'm good with that. I don't need to remember what happened. Half of it's bullshit anyway. The fuck? That was an easy one.
Like wow, that's wild.
Said fuck the memory.
But like she said, fuck the memories.
You know
and
that
whatnot.
shit? I don't remember shit that happened most of the time anyway.
But
no
wait
more.
a minute, you're gonna run into something significant sooner or later. Like what are we talking about?
What's more significant? Never mind.
What's more significant than an orgasm? Yo, she is out of control.
I'm just saying.
Yo, wait a minute.
A rose is still a rose, huh?
No, a rose is still a rose. Yeah, by the way, did you ever find a rose?
I did not.
Oh.
It is still on back order.
There's no way. That's not even true. That can't be possible.
It's still on back order.
Ty, it's been 2 years.
It's always sold out.
So you haven't been able to find a rose in 2
No.
years? Have you bought a rose in 2 years?
I don't like toys.
Oh shit.
Oh shit! What the hell? They still make you?
I'm a pro with these fingers.
Yo, gosh. I shook your hand when you came
Hey,
in.
listen, I ain't mad. I thought she was gonna say she don't use nothing.
Oh, no,
I'm good. That's good.
I'll definitely do that.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Long as I ain't alone. Then
DJ Dana K. So, but okay. So Dana, you didn't answer.
Yeah, that's tricky. So
You forget a month.
just a month.
Mm-hmm.
For how long? How many orgasms? Like
Every day. Every day you forget a month.
and no orgasms.
you know, it's a lot of stuff in my life that I would like to forget. And we all have selective memory, whether people admit it or not. You know
Right,
what I mean?
right.
Like it's things our brain teaches us or will automatically forget due to some type of trauma or
Yeah.
however the event happened. But
Right.
my fear would be losing those memories of my children, and they are literally the reason why I live.
That's a good
So
one.
if they will always mean more to me than anything,
Right.
especially orgasm. Like,
So if you could, like, let's just say you could situate it around that, like you could situate it around events that happen, like the month that your daughter started walking, the month your son was
fucking
was born.
absolutely.
So you would just remember. So you would, by the end, you would just be an orgasm and like
Remember
12 events.
Absolutely, I'll be okay with that.
Yo, this is the craziest
Okay with
thing ever. Like,
Take away the painful shit.
So-
Memories, and I get the orgasm. Can't beat that. I mean,
do y'all think that that's what it's like to have dementia without the orgasm?
the funny thing, it's funny that you mentioned that because
Right.
that's the first thing I thought when you said that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My grandmother has dementia.
Okay.
And I know that, that is hereditary. And
Yes.
so ever since my grandmother was diagnosed, I
Right.
automatically started researching dementia,
Mm-hmm.
trying to get more information about it and trying to be proactive for myself.
Right.
Because I know I'm a lot like my grandmother. And it scares me. And,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's not even with dementia, my fear isn't what I'm going to go through, but what my children are going to go through.
Mm-hmm.
And I just don't want them, like, what if I forget one of them? Don't know who they
Yeah.
are. Like, God, I would never want my children to go through that. Like,
Right,
that's what
right,
my
right.
grandmother's going through. So it's like that part scares the hell out of me.
Mm-hmm.
So when it, that's my fear with that, like
Right.
selective memory and having that choice to remember certain things and how that would affect you, considering Alzheimer's and dementia. I think about that almost every day. I just don't want my children to go through that. So, yeah.
I've been through that twice.
Right.
My grandfather had dementia, and my great grandmother had dementia on two different sides.
Yes.
Wow.
My grandfather, and then my great grandmother was my grandmother's mother. Both of them had dementia.
Right.
Right. And you said forgetting your kids. I remember it was a time my grandma was at my great grandmom's house. She called the house and asked to speak to my grandmother. And that was the key point. When everybody was like,
damn.
yeah, no.
That
She's
is-
sitting right in front of you.
Right.
And you called the house to ask to speak to her. So when you say that,
Yeah.
my grandmother actually experienced that. Like, she was sitting right next to her. She was like, she called the house and was like, yeah, I'm calling. Can I speak to Connie?
Mm-hmm.
And we like, isn't my mom over there?
Right.
You know what I mean? And that was the time. I mean, I work, I'm not going to say where I work, but, I work in a population of dementia and all that. And it is by far one of the most terrible
Right.
diseases anyone
Right.
can ever suffer from. And not to make light of it, but you said it's hereditary. I be feeling like, mine is brain fog, right? But
Right,
brain
right.
fog kind of feels like dementia. Like
Scares
when you do something or you like getting ready to look up something and you completely can't remember what you was getting ready to look up.
Yeah.
That's what dementia feels like, but it's not that temporary.
I think we all kind of get to that place
It's
as we get
brain
older.
fog. It's brain fog.
We all, but I think that age, that shit accrues with age. We become
Yes,
we
right.
become these people as we get older. Like we are essentially, beings that are kind of, it sucks to say this, we're kind of wasting away.
Right.
So that's one of the reasons why, and I say this all the time and whatnot, that it was always important for me to do something like this as far as podcasting, because you can, it's always good to make a stake and a claim. Like even when I was back when I was rapping, I make it a point to say verses out loud that I wrote 20 years ago. And the reason why I do is that because it keeps me sharp.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, because at the end of the day, if you see somebody talking, it's so much different in their 60s than it even was in their 50s. Because it happened so damn fast. So, and I didn't really want us to serious us out with that, because I felt like it was a light, trying to have a lighthearted conversation. But I think that just in the greater scheme of things or whatnot, it's important to kind of cherish, whatever the moments are. That's why I always say that, something like this, when it comes to fucking podcasting, or just on the side of being creative, if you want to do it, just fucking do it. Just do it. Like honestly, find a way to do it and get it done, because I'm sitting next to the grandmaster of past exploration. She will fucking go back and be like, "Hey, remember when you said that?" And then make a clip of it. That's her thing. But it works for her. She likes that.
I
So
do.
why not, be that type of person to say, you know what, I'm gonna make shit that count for people, and then you know what I mean, and then have something to look back upon, and then when you're gone, maybe your kids or your grandkids can search for it, and because the internet ain't going nowhere. So that I mean that'll be what it's gonna be.
Yeah, leaving a legacy.
Yeah,
That's legacy for me. If I left here today, tomorrow,
right.
so many things that people can pull up
Mm-hmm.
that I said.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
can go dig my book up. You can go dig up the journal,
Right,
anything,
right.
right? And be like, yeah, this is who she was. This is what she said.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever the case may be. So I think it's very important. And like Jamie Foxx said, if I can stay funny, I can stay alive. If I can stay creative, I can stay alive. It's literally what keeps me alive.
Speaking of that, not even speaking of that, I'm switching topics, but I just want to kind of what you call it. If somebody said that you can put a year on a romantic love, what year would you put on it? What if somebody says, listen, I give you an option to, and this is another one kind of similar to the other one. You can love fast and hard, pause, for 7 years. You can love intermediately and strong for 20, or you could love lightly but tolerate for eternity. Which one would you take? Or to death do you part, which one would you take?
I'm good with the lightly intolerable.
Wow, really?
Because I want longevity. So
Get the fuck out of here. I've never heard that. I've never heard a woman say that out loud in my life.
you have to think about it too. Couples, the ones that lasted long, 50, 60, 70, even 80 years.
Yeah.
They're tolerating each other at some point.
Ooh, shit.
You have to be able to live with somebody, eat, sleep, poop, shit, everything like with them, for
Right.
for that long.
Notice you said poop and shit.
And poop and
There's-
shit.
there's a difference.
There is a difference. There's a difference.
Right.
There's a difference.
Go ahead.
You're eventually tolerating that person, but it doesn't
Right.
take away from the love that you have from them. You can be with someone for a long period of time, love them, and not really like them, but be so in love with that person that you can't imagine being without them. You know what I mean? And I feel like I would be okay with that. Like, I don't want on and off shit. I don't want temporary shit. I want longevity. I want, and it's funny because we talked about this before, I think, but I've never wanted to get married because I've witnessed failed marriages in my family at a very young age, and I've always been very wise, even at a young age. So, and I'm very observant. So I would watch the things that would happen with my mom, my aunt,
Right,
the
right.
drama,
Right.
and I knew at a young age I'd never wanted to get married.
Wow.
Because I just didn't think that, it would be successful from what I watched happening with the women around me. And then I got older, and I was like, well, yeah, sure, maybe one day, This is probably in my 20s when I was just like, you know what, sure, why not?
Right.
I find the love of my life, the love of my life, we find each other, sure, why not? And then once I hit my 30s, I was like, yeah, I think I'm good again. So I'm kind of like 50-50 with it when it comes to marriage.
Right.
Either way, I still would want longevity with one person. I just, especially if that person makes me feel safe. Like, that's a really big deal for me. If I feel safe around you, and it's hard for me to feel safe around people because of the things that I've experienced. In my life.
Right.
So if someone can provide that, safe space and security for me, I'm not going to want to be away from that. You know what I mean? Even if it is at a point where they're annoying the hell out of me a lot of times, or if they're not disrespecting me, they're not cheating on me, for the most part, they do what I ask because I am a little bossy. I will admit that. But I'm still a good woman, and I'm still going to nurture you and love you and take care of you, the best that I can as your girlfriend, wife, whatever my role is. But I'm going to want that long term. So this is why I don't date. because a lot of guys, you know, and we talked about this too. This is another episode we need to talk about, but
Right.
I am in a relationship. I will say that right now.
No. Shit.
Oh, shout out to that. Hey, listen, it's like what's that? It's a Wonderful Life. Every time a bell rings, that's how I feel. Oh, somebody's in a relationship. It's hope.
Oh,
It's hope.
gosh.
Every time a bell rings, an angel gets his
What?
wings.
That's so true.
What the hell?
No, she's so right about that because
Yeah.
I haven't been in a relationship in 8 years. And
Right.
I didn't date much either because I knew that, you know, the type of men that I would encounter would not be guys that wanted longevity, and that's just that's what I want. So for me, it was like a waste of my time, a waste of your time.
Yeah, it's
you
a
know,
bodily fluid in a dating pool. Let's just call it what it is.
Right.
Piss, shit, throw up,
Like
anything you think of. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I didn't do a lot of dating in the past 2 years. I haven't,
Right.
and I was content with that because I didn't feel safe.
Mm.
And then I found the person that I
Oh man.
Oh boy.
So, you know, and it.
I'm letting you get off because this one, she got all types of shit to say right here. I already know. Because I already know the shit she's going to start saying. So I'm just going to, the wind up is crazy. I can see it in the, like, she just.
I can't wait to hear her.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm definitely a longevity type of person. Like,
Right.
you know, no relationship is going to be perfect. You know what I mean?
Right.
As long as that respect is there,
Mm-hmm.
you know, the love is there, that's the safeness and security is there.
Right.
You know, things can last.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Let's say
Taya?
Taya.
So, reason why I said every time a bell rings, an angel gets his wings, right?
Uh-huh. Right.
Is because me and Dana have a lot of similarities. Like I listen to a lot of things that she say, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, yep, I agree with that.
Right.
Yeah, I agree with that. So if she got a man,
Oh my God.
that means that I can get a man. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, if she got a man,
Miracle.
that means that I can get a man.
That's right,
Because
baby. You better
I
believe
feel
that.
like there's not a lot of women
Yes,
like us. You know what I mean? Who
Right.
think like us,
Mm-hmm.
who are attentive to men's feelings like we are. You know what I mean?
Right,
Who
right,
speak
right,
a
right.
certain way to men
Right.
like we do. Right?
Right.
Okay.
So when I hear that she got a man,
Mm-hmm.
I'm like the Players Club. Girls, there's some money upstairs. It's the green light. Some money upstairs. Period. So that's why I said. That's why I was over here like, yes.
Jesus Christ.
Yes, that's right. Yes.
But you didn't answer the question.
I know. And this might keep on falling.
No. No, Jesus.
So
Go ahead.
as far as marriage, right? I am a person that always wanted to be married.
Right.
There has been nothing but marriages in my family.
Mm-hmm.
Most of them made it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
My mom was married.
Mm-hmm.
All my aunts was married. One of my aunts is still married. My uncle's married. My cousin, my sister, my other cousin. Yeah, I'm like one of the only ones that ain't married, but that's another story. So I always wanted to be married, right? But I know if I had got married at a young age, I would have been a runaway bride. Because I had abandonment issues. And first fight, I'd been like, nah, this ain't it.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's crazy that somebody that have abandonment issues would abandon.
Yeah, that's why. Because you know what
wild.
it feels like.
Yeah, that's
And
why.
you want to abandon people before people abandon you.
Oh, okay. I
'Cause you
understand.
know what that
I get
feels
it.
like.
Right, I
So
get it.
I'm going to
Okay.
get you before you get me.
All right, I got you.
And when it
I got
even looks like you about to abandon me,
Mm-hmm.
deuces.
Right.
That's who Taya used to be.
you. Mm-hmm.
That's why I had to free myself from abandonment issues.
Okay.
know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So I'm going to say the option that I would choose. I would say the 20 years because I got a short attention span. And if I ain't feeling you the whole time, I'm not going to make it to eternity. I'm just keeping it real. This not the abandonment issue. This is a separate issue. This is attention. Adult ADHD.
This nigga is out of control. This nigga is out of
Adult
control.
ADHD.
No,
okay?
no,
If I ain't feeling you, you know how people be like, love the one you with, or no, what is it? If you can't be with the one you love the one you with. I can't never be with love the one I'm with. I gotta love you, or I'm out.
But wait. So you saying that you'll move intermediately without because all right. So you want the shit, you just don't want it forever. Yo, I hate her ass so much.
I want it. No.
Because
You said no. You said slow and have it forever.
That's exactly what the fuck.
It can't be slow. If it's slow, I gotta go.
So let me ask you. So all right. So wait, Dana, because I want you to. So
This damn mic, man. All right, go ahead.
I know. Look, so I'm gonna figure it all out because all this shit is.
It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah.
I'm not complaining. I'm just gonna hold it. I know they say no hands.
Because what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna
using
spark
my
this
hands
conversation
today.
I'm not stopping anything because I gotta pee. But what I am gonna say is your thought process is a little more logical, and the reason why I say hers is a little bit more logical because she understands what happens when you're with somebody over a long period of time. Like, if you think that grandma and grandpa that was married for 40 years loved vigorously that whole time or loved intermediately that entire time, you're mistaken. Because there's no fucking way. There's times when grandpa was like, hey, look, I'm going on a trip, man, we're on vacation, you know what I mean?
Not my grandpa.
Or there's times when he moved into another room and had a different
Not
bedroom.
my grandpa.
Listen.
Not my great grandpa either.
Listen.
My family different. I'm trying to tell you. Listen, I'm gonna tell you a quick story.
All right.
Between the two of them. My grandpa ain't had no friends.
Tell that story to Dana.
My grandpa never went out with friends, never spent the night with friends. Didn't happen. My great grandpa spent every day with his wife. She was in a nursing home for 2 years with Alzheimer's. He went there every single day. Except for one day when it was a snowstorm. That's what I grew up seeing. They ain't like being away. You know what I mean? They didn't like being outside the house.
Okay.
They ain't really had no friends. My grandpa never brought anybody in the house. No homies. No sitting there playing cards. Nothing. If he talked to somebody, it was outside the door. That's just how he was, right? Call my family a unicorn? I don't know. But that's what I grew up seeing. Now, I don't know what happened before before I was born in 1981.
Yeah.
But since I was born, that's what I saw.
And I've heard that too. I've heard that before where, a husband or a wife, like they're, they don't, everything is in that home. They don't bring anybody in.
Nope.
The husband and or wife don't really go out.
Nope.
And every marriage makes it work in a way that works best for those people, right? For that couple.
Right.
There are marriages where there's a husband who does go out. We're definitely in a different generation.
Exactly.
So
yeah.
We're some people are married to men that are social. We have a lot of guys that are in the entertainment business who are own clubs or promoters and stuff like that. So they have to be outside.
Which I prefer.
Right. They're doing things. So it's a different generation and so that was a thing, back in those days where the husband didn't go out and, he stayed home and, and the wife too. But
no girls trips.
Right, none of that. But it's a different time.
It is.
And we do take girls trips, and guys do take guys trips. And,
right.
Guys do go to birthday parties for their guy friends, and
Yeah.
sometimes the girlfriend doesn't come. And the person that they're with has to be okay with that. You know what I mean? And content with that.
Right.
And I feel like if a man can balance that out with their wife, or girlfriend, like if you go on guys trips or you go to your guys, like a birthday party at a club or something like that. It's all the guys or whatever.
Right.
As long as a woman is comfortable with her man doing things like that, you know what I mean? And he's making that time for her as well, taking her places. It's all of that is doable. Like we can't go everywhere with him. Like go.
Hell
and
no.
I don't want to be everywhere.
Me either.
Go out with your friends.
Hell
go
no.
have your
Bye.
fun.
Right.
You know what I mean? That space, we need that time away from each other. You know what I mean? As long as you're respecting me, you're not doing no dumb shit or whatever, go have your fun. But I feel like guys don't really know nowadays, don't know how to do that. They're too concerned about their image as opposed to their combined image with their significant other. And, they go out and do dumb shit. And this is why a lot of relationships don't.
Wait, yeah, I'm about to say say more words. Tell me, expound on that. What do you mean by that?
When we were comparing relationships and how they lasted back in the day,
Yeah.
as to now, and how it's a different time, and people are more social nowadays. You know,
Right.
There's more to do nowadays. I feel like the reason why the relationships and marriages aren't lasting as long as they used to is because it could be a man or a woman. I will never put it all on one sex. Like women do too. There's a lot of women that don't know how to sit their ass down and be a good girlfriend or a good wife.
Right.
Be outside all the time and let their girlfriends brainwash them and they're thinking that's where they need to be instead of home with their man.
Right.
So it goes both ways. Men fuck up, women fuck up too. But I feel like the only reason why relationships and marriages aren't lasting as long as they used to because of the inconsideration for the significant other.
Ooh.
Like you don't care about their feelings. You don't care about. You don't care about how you're making them look. Like you are representing me when you walk here. And this is why I was particular about dating certain people too.
Okay.
You can't be out here. I have a name in this city, whether I recognize it or not.
Right.
You can't be out here embarrassing me, looking like you thirsty and you. I'm sorry, I'm not conceited, but you definitely got one of the baddest in the city. Okay. You out here. You know what I mean? I stopped dating a guy who we were like, everything was cool, but
Right.
he just looked so thirsty. He used to be out at the strip clubs, and he was zooming on the girls' butts and stuff like that. But you got one of the baddest. Like your friends are still trying to talk to me behind your back.
See, and that's
Tell him, Dana.
Still can't.
Tell him.
so you're bringing. Let me ask you a
This is
question.
Turkey Talk Part 2.
Like I never understood it. This same individual, by the way, is in my
Cut your
DMs
liquor
right
off
now
in a
telling
minute.
me he missed me. Okay.
You said what?
Yeah, he do.
In my DMs right now.
As he
telling me
should.
missed me. And both of our birthdays is this month.
As he should.
Like, you know you messed up.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I wasn't out here. I carried myself a certain way. And I had a conversation with him. I said, I'm going to need you to understand something. You can't be out here moving funny and people know you and I are dating. We were just dating.
Right.
But even still, like, come on, like you embarrassing me. Like I can't. Now I gotta cut you off. You know what I mean? And we can't deal with each other because you out here looking like some thirsty ass dog. You know what I mean?
I think that, see, to me, what I'm gonna say is that in a man's instance or whatnot, you're right. Whatnot. I don't know if it's the dogism inside of a man and whatnot that kind of makes him move that way all the time, or if it's the fact that he's just a moron. Sometimes what happens is that niggas have this thing and I give it up to the niggas that they can't control themselves or whatnot.
Right.
Them motherfuckers could have
Right.
could craft the perfect woman for him and he'll fuck the ugliest chick on the block because some of them just had that thing about them. Others, on the other hand, like you said before, are looking for, a situation of approval. But the same ones that can still, like, you said that some of his friends were trying to holler at you. Now, if he knew that and still being a friend, that nigga's a sucker. And I'm going to tell you the reason why is because of the simple fact that there's a lot of things like if you my friend, I can trust you as my friend. I can leave $100 on the dresser and you're not going to take it. But the moment that I feel like I can't leave you alone with my lady, nigga, nah, we not doing that type time. But I'm also one of those people that understand that I don't look at women the way other men look at women. I don't look at women and feel as if that they're this feeble, not minded entity that it can always be coerced by another nigga. I am a very, very much like if you could take her, you could have her. Because at the end of the day, you can take her.
Yeah.
So she not mine to begin with. You know what I'm saying? So the moment that you would say, like, listen, you got friends that talk to me, I'm like, dog, you's a dumbass dickhead and you disrespectful, but you don't really fuck with me like that.
Right.
So that's an entirely different, topic when we start talking about who's moving with what and the way niggas is moving. But to take it back to the original point and whatnot, like as far as like, moving and being kind of interwoven with somebody or whatnot, I just think that to be lock and step, you gotta move at a slower pace.
Yes.
That's my only thing. Like that's the only argument that I would have, because I understand what you mean by some sort of intermediate because you don't want the spark to die. What I'm telling you is that the spark always dies.
Well, it's not even a spark.
But it's just finding a way to keep the fire simmering. And there's nothing wrong with moving slow in order to do that. So put it like this. Let's just talk literal shit, right? I'm talking to somebody that was married for almost 2 decades, right? And what happens is that, and not all the people that have been married for just as long, if not longer, when you first got together, every time y'all got together, y'all was fucking. And I'm talking fucking. Fucking. Over the first 5 years, you know, it slowed up some or whatnot, and you made love at some time, but you wasn't fucking the way that you was fucking in the first year. No, over the next 10 years, you're fucking much less than you was fucking before. After that 11th year, the fucking subside. You know when you fuck a whole lot when you go on vacation. Something about hotel rooms make you fuck.
Yeah.
You get to a vacation on an island hotel room, you're fucking. That's what just, it might as well be called fuck resort. This is welcome to fuck resort, where you will be fucking. You know what I'm saying? And you get there, and that's what you do. After about year 12, 13, 14, 15, now you have to find a phase of simmering. You have to figure out exactly where you're going to land with your physical situations, because now you might have children. Now you might have careers. Now you might have to schedule particular things. It's not the same situation that it was before. And you may look at it like, this is sad. No, nigga, it ain't sad. I know motherfuckers that plan when they wake up in the morning like, all right, we're going to have date night, and then we going to come back.
Right.
And I got this little toy and this lube, and we going to fuck. You know what I'm saying? But that's a thing. People, that doesn't set well with a lot of people, because they think that it's some way condemning the love that they should have for each other. And I'm just I'm here to tell you that's not the case. That's not the case. It's just the fact that over time, human beings get used to having things.
Right.
Like 14 years ago, if you put this motherfucker in front of me, it'd be the greatest fucking thing in the world. God damn, look at that big ass fucking TV. HD, I ain't look, god damn, these motherfuckers look like they in the living room. Now, I'm sitting down and be like, something wrong with this motherfucking TV because it don't look like it's supposed to be looking. Is this on the HD channel? Because you're conditioned. You understand exactly what it's supposed to be. Yeah. And then when it gets to the peak of its performance, you say, okay, that's the peak of its performance. I'm not expecting this to be a fucking 3D TV. I'm not expecting fucking Jason to jump out and swing a knife at me. No, nigga, because I know what the TV do. Right. I've accepted this TV. So either one or two things. I love the TV until it's done, or I go out and get a new motherfucking TV.
Right.
Yeah, I'm saying.
I'll be trying to keep both TVs. Anyway.
Well, but because, and that's, well, I'm going to tell you what it is. No, what you do is, I take that TV and I move that TV to the bedroom.
Exactly. That's why I said, trying to keep both.
No, but wait a minute. That's not wrong. Nobody is saying that that's a wrong thing to do, is to take the other TV and keep the other TV. The other TV still needs to be used. It's just that. Now, mind you, listen. No, it sounds misogynistic. Don't let me do that. I don't want to sound like Hugh Hefner.
Hell, turn the TV off. No. Anyway.
No. You
turn the TV off. Turn the TV off.
Come on, Kendrick. No. But this is what I'm saying.
No.
Right.
Stop. Just stop.
No, because
Stop.
Can I land, please? Let me land.
No, you crashed already.
No, I didn't crash. Let me land. Hold on. Let me land. Let me land.
The plane is smoking right now.
Yeah.
Let me land. I'm gonna get it on the ground and whatnot.
Go ahead and land.
But what I want to do is, I don't want to put that in the same light as I put traditional relationships and marriages or whatnot. Right. So now I'm veering and going to the runway I need to go to.
Okay.
If the TV is put in the other room or whatnot, and you not getting rid of it for a particular reason, just because it's not the type of TV that you want anymore, but you still holding on to it for sentimental reasons, and you get a new TV to parade in front of everybody, then you a Hugh Hefner type nigga. You a nigga that's not respecting what the TV is about. You either get rid of the TV and let it be what it's going to be, especially if you don't need it. Right. And that's the entire thing. Now we talk about materialistic things, but we're talking about the way that, yes, some niggas treat women like this. They feel like, all right, I done been with her for, for a long time, and no, we not in a poly situation. So she's Old Faithful, and I'm moving to this situation and saying, boom, I got the new model. So this is my little side new model joint. Or we everything is said and done, and I got a new young joint on the side, or I get, you know what I mean, like it's the Hugh Hefner effect. It is what it is. Niggas are. That's why they say, well, why men attracted to younger women, because that's what they feel is to parade the situation. But none of that has.
That ain't the only reason.
None of that has to do with the way. And also procreation. But none of that.
That ain't the only reason either.
What's the other reason? Let me land this and I'll let you go. None of that has to do with the way that somebody actually loves somebody. That's what I'm talking about. That's more for the for the optics. But go ahead. What you saying?
First of all, I've been saying this for years. Relationship is 3 lives: my life, your life, our life together. The other thing I was saying is that I'm not saying I can't be with somebody, for a long period of time or anything like that.
Right.
I'm saying that I got a short attention span. And if I'm not feeling it, once I start not feeling it, I'm not going to feel it. And there ain't going to be nothing you're going to be able to do to get me to feel it. So it's more realistic for me for the 20 years than the lifetime.
I got you.
It might wind up being a lifetime. But the realistic side, me being self-aware, is the 20 years.
But
that's more realistic.
Okay.
For me.
Okay.
Now, as far as you talking about, and people always say this about, the sex slowed down and this and this and that. I've never laid next to somebody that I feel a way about, right? And did not want to do something with them. You know how on Two Could Play That Game, she said, as many times as he get it up, I get it back down.
Oh my gosh, you on here selling ass. All right. That's
I'm not. I'm talking about no.
All right.
Hey. Now you know better.
Oh, I'm just saying.
I'm talking about
all right.
in a relationship.
Okay.
Whether it's because most of the time it temporarily belongs to you. You know what I'm saying?
What are you talking about?
It temporarily belongs to you. In that moment, it belongs to me. So as many times as it get up, I get it back down. Shout out to Monique who could play that game. I believe in that.
What the fuck is happening right now?
No, wait, I can take it back off of that. I can honestly say, in my 20s, I had this thing about me. I don't know. It was almost like a clock. You know what I mean? I would date a guy, and at 3-month mark, I would either decide whether I wanted to continue dating him or not. And it would be something in me that would be like, yeah, this doesn't work for me. Time to move on. And it was weird. It was a thing like I had no control over. Like it would just hit.
Thank
the
you.
3-month mark. I swear it was the weirdest thing ever. But at the 3-month mark, I have this weird feeling, and then I start thinking. And I'm like, okay. And now I'm analyzing the guy in a relationship or the dating, because it's not a relationship at that point. It was every 3 months. At the 3-month mark of dating whoever. And I would take my breaks. It wasn't back-to-back consecutive dating.
Right.
Cooling off period.
But when I found somebody that I liked long enough to, well enough to keep around.
Right.
And I would date them for 3 months. Something in me would just be like, all right, so what are we doing? And I would have that conversation with myself instead of with the guy. And I would balance out things, pros and cons. What are the good things about this guy? What are the bad things about this guy? I would literally have this conversation with myself, and then I would determine whether I wanted to stay with him. And if I did, and I would have the conversation with the guy, like, hey, yeah, so this isn't really working out for me, And
let me ask you a question.
My shit is 3 days.
What the fuck?
Wait,
it's not 3 days, yo.
No. So it's 3 days if I know whether I like somebody or not, right? And this is the reason. The reason is that once I like somebody,
right,
I really like them. And it's not as easy to just
all these things,
break away.
So let her finish her Joan, because I want to get to what you're talking about.
When I got older, that changed, because I had a conversation with myself, and I said, girl, you gotta stop doing this.
Talk right into the mic.
I had a conversation with myself, and I said, girl, you gotta stop doing this. You break up with this guy because for little stupid reasons, and then 3 months from now, you're gonna be complaining about how you can't find a good man. And technically, at this point, there's really nothing wrong with this guy for you to feel, to stop at least dating him.
Right.
So I continued with the relationship. It actually went 3 years. And then, you know, I felt like in that relationship I was losing myself. So I had to, you know, I slowly but surely pull myself out of it. Try to have conversations because when I'm fully invested like that, I don't just get up and go.
Right,
I'll try to talk it out. I'll try to work it out. And if we just can't come to a resolution, then I leave it, you know.
Do you feel like that's you exercising your claim to variety?
No, it has nothing to do with that. It has everything to do with
I mean, just certain points of because it sounds like there's a stimulant that goes along with that. There's something, a point of view that needs to be stimulated, but it seemed like it's moving. Like the stimulation portion of it is moving. If there's something that's being fulfilled, maybe fully by that person, there's something that's missing. So like even when you said that you found yourself losing yourself, there was something that you enjoyed about you that you weren't getting from that person. So when you go to the next person, that person might fulfill that, but what that other person was fulfilling, you're no longer getting that from them.
Right.
So to me, what women know how to do things respectably. So what you're doing is you're exercising your claim to variety. What niggas do is niggas just say, I like new pussy. That's exactly what niggas say, regardless of what else goes into that. Because at the end of the day, niggas can have a whole harem or have one night stands all the time, but never do anything with these women. Or they could have a harem of women that they like and they rotate around with them. You know the reason why? Because they fulfill particular things that this man likes.
So, and I know there's a lot of confusion about that. Guys who have that. I don't really want to call it a misconception because it really doesn't apply to every woman.
Right.
It's not that I'm looking for what I'm not receiving from that man and another man.
Okay.
It's just that where the space that I'm in with that individual doesn't feel safe anymore. And I need to exit.
Yep.
That's all it's about.
What safe? Explain to me safe. So and I want both of y'all to kind of go explain to me safe because I love this because if I wanted anything to be a return episode would be to me to be talking to two women of color about the way that you feel safe and unsafe in a relationship with a black man or a man of color. Like, what are we talking about? When we talking about safe, explain.
If I fall back, I know you're going to catch me. I ain't even got to turn around to see if you're going to catch me. I just know.
It's for me, like, being able to be myself.
Yeah,
that's
what I mean, yeah.
Growing up, I always, because I'm, like, born and raised in Philly. I'm from Uptown, but I've always been different. I've always been very intelligent, a bit of a nerd.
Right.
Shy, quiet, reserved. And, but under that shyness, I'm goofy, I'm silly, I like making jokes,
Right.
I'm sarcastic, I like to sing, I like to, do all these things, and not everybody made me feel comfortable, being who I am.
Right, right.
So that safeness, that initially is me being able to be who I am, being silly, being goofy, making corny jokes, laughing at corny jokes, watching scary movies, and most people don't like scary movies. Eating circus peanuts because nobody likes circus peanuts. Eating green mint chocolate chip ice cream because that's my favorite. Being able to be myself and that person accepting that about me and loving that about me. That's initially where that safeness comes from.
Yeah.
And then two, I do prefer a man that has the strength in him, that is like a protector and gives off that energy. That's the second part of me feeling safe around him. Like I feel like no matter where we are, no matter what we're doing, I don't have to watch my back because he's watching it for me.
Do you find that there's a contrast in who you are and what you prefer? Like honestly, like because I think that a lot of times that's what happens in life. Who we are to the core is not always aligned with what we like.
That's a fact.
So when you look at it and you say, I need this protector, a man's man that is able, sometimes that nigga's he's not enough of a weirdo. He's not enough of a nerd. He can't watch Dragon Ball Z.
Well,
he doesn't like horror movies and ice cream.
He doesn't have to be one. He just have to accept that she's one.
He's gotta be comfortable within himself.
Right. Whoever he is.
Feel like who I am as a woman, he can protect.
Right.
He can be that man that I would like for him to be or need him to be. And he don't have to be a nerd. I honestly don't really care who he is. He can be a hood nigga. He can be a businessman. He can be whoever he is. But if he's giving me that energy that I need to feel safe with him,
right,
and be myself, that's all I need from him.
See, that's the problem. The more rock solid a man is on the outside, the more of that person that he is built up to be on the outside, the worst he is on the inside.
And I understand that. And it's about accepting that too about a man. Like everybody has their own traumas that they've been through. Right. Especially when you grow up in the city, our city, or any city similar to Philly. So it's about being considerate of that your significant other, being open to listen, and guys don't. It's really hard for them to open up and talk about the things that they experience, but they want to. You know what I mean? So we got to create that safe space for them as well. So it's a lot of it's a lot of giving that's required, even when you feel like you're not receiving sometimes.
Yeah, I agree.
Like that person is worth it. You're going to stick around and keep giving. And so, you can fill them up enough where they're comfortable enough to open up to you. And so that's why relationships last.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And then that breakthrough happens, and then now everything's good, So those little waves and periods that you'll go through in relationships. But the person got to be worth it,
I agree. What was you gonna say?
So, I'm too much of a safe space.
Oh shit!
I mean, it's so many people that I am a safe space for, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of times I found with men, some people will just only want you to be the safe space, right? I had somebody say before, like they would rather be with the woman they can't be vulnerable with, right? Because they feel like that woman is going to see them, as Superman, right? Because they're always like, got this shield up, right? But I have seen them, at their most vulnerable state. But I still view them as Superman. And I think that's the part that people get mixed up, right? If I already view you as Superman, you could turn into Clark Kent. I still know you were Superman.
Have you ever been romantically?
Yes.
Have you ever thought about in anybody that you feel that way romantically and let them know that?
Yes.
And how was it?
Believe it.
How was it received?
They don't believe it. Yeah.
They don't believe it.
It's usually like that. They're not comfortable enough to.
They don't believe it. They feel like once I've been weak with you, I don't like the word weak.
It's embarrassing.
Once I've been vulnerable with you, you no longer respect me.
Right.
I respect you more because you respected me enough to do that.
I think a lot of times we don't like we don't give each other credit as people, with certain things. I think a lot of times what happens is that
there's no way I should still be single.
Oh shit.
Everything that these men, no, they're serious. Everything that these men post on the internet, everything that these men say on the podcast that they want in a woman, I am.
Right.
I am considerate. I am a safe space.
Right.
I ain't really asking for too much.
Right.
I'm content with very little.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with 50-50. And this is not me being a pick-me or anything. It's just who I am. Right. But somebody told me that I don't give men anything to really complain about.
I hate that.
Listen, and men want something to complain about.
I don't.
If your woman does everything that you want them to do, what they got to talk about with the homies when they playing cards? Then he like, man, my woman be getting on my nerves. She don't listen to me.
See,
she don't watch porn with me.
The problem
she don't do
is
none of this, and you sitting there like
the majority.
I can't say the same. You know what I'm saying?
But what y'all gotta understand,
proud enough to be able to say,
but they don't.
Woman,
what y'all missing is that the majority of the time a man
I'm
is
not a challenge.
The man is not talking about his woman in that context when he's playing cards with his homies.
That's what I was just say. That shouldn't even.
He's just not like now. Here's the thing. What we do is we refer to so it's like we got jokes and the jokes will be like, nigga, you can't go nowhere. Or you can't do nothing or whatnot.
Right.
That's your homies having respect for you and your situation.
Right.
So it's never to the type time where it's like, man, fuck all that, man. Let's do, man. I don't even like her anyway. We don't move on that type of accord.
No. I'm not saying that.
I'm just telling you that. But
Yeah.
even when we're younger, we learn that because you've been around them homies that will talk the shit about the chick, but leave you high and dry because he's getting some pussy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we not crazy to even take it there.
Right.
One thing that I am going to tell you is that I think that a lot of times women have an understanding, here we go, who you are as opposed to exactly what you want. Because what you want, if you want something, you go for it.
Right.
And the problem is there's too many stipulations that linger around the way that it operates. So it's like, if you know that I know somebody, oh my goodness, right? I know a homie, right? And me and him, and it was a girl, she's like my god sister. And then we kind of grew up together. And he was into her forever. You know what I'm saying? And he never shot a shot. Never ever took the shot to shoot it or whatnot because he felt as if that if he shot the shot, it would fuck up what they have as a friendship. And they ended up not even being like talking to each other like that. They grew apart as we got older anyway. But if you always lend it back to that, be like, well, nigga, why didn't you shoot? Because people are there's so many people out here that don't shoot. Remind me of Love Jones. Remind me of every fucking romantic comedy that you ever seen. The fucking 16 Candles and all them other Jones where you had the dude that was perfect for the motherfucker, but never shot the shot because you don't want to fuck up what's going on with it or whatnot. And I think that those are the people that say, okay, I need to find, like he looked at it and said, yo, I need to find everything in her in another girl. But nigga, you can't find everything else in another girl because that ain't her.
Right.
That's exactly how that works.
That's
so
true.
in this life, we look at things and we say to ourselves, like, God damn, yeah, that makes all the sense in the world, but I'm not gonna fuck this portion of it up. And if you don't want to fuck that portion up, then you know where you lie with it. And it's cool to never do it. It's just the fact that you better have an understanding that if that's your window, and sometimes, and let me tell you, I'm one of them people that I know that God talked to me. And I'll talk about my 444s and 1111s, all that in a minute. That I know that he talked to me. So if my window is open, and then you looking at him like, nigga, the wind that you see that? You see that, my son?
It is kind of cold in here.
That's a window. I know. I'm sorry. I'm about to. Yeah, it is actually cold in here. I'm about to
No,
turn
the liquor
it.
wearing off.
Yeah, I know the liquor's wearing off because I was hot before now too. I'm like, oh shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, I just think that we light step. We light step in those situations. We light step and whatnot, and then we say, I can't have what I want with who I want without disrupting. See, life is about disrupting. Like, you can't have what you want and everything be copacetic. It's too much of a balance in that.
Right.
Something has to fall.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. You cannot steal second base and keep your foot on first. So there's certain things that we want to do, but we would never do because we afraid of what that's going to mean. So we just fall back.
I'm just not trying to fix nobody.
But see here, see what?
No.
But
So listen.
Go ahead.
So I used to have a nickname, Mrs. Fix It.
No, Jesus Christ. Hold on. Let me turn the air off. Go ahead.
I had to divorce Mrs. Fix It.
You are the what?
I had to divorce
Oh,
Mrs. Fix It. Mrs. Fix It is single right along with me now. Because I'm a very fair and objective person, right? And I'll see somebody and be like, "Oh, this happened to them, that happened to them. I think I can fix that.
Right.
I think I can love them through that. I think I can heal them, right?" And all you do is break yourself.
I've been that.
And I be damned
Yeah.
if I did all this work, went through the T process to break myself trying to fix somebody else.
I want to tell a story.
It's not going to happen again.
I want to tell a story right now.
And I don't think that any woman or man, let's be clear, because it's women that's broken too.
Right.
All that, it's not until I meet a man I'm going to get myself together. No. Get yourself together first. Men, get yourself together first. It's not a black woman's job to save y'all. It's not a black man's job to save you. Get with somebody that you don't need to save. Y'all can grow together naturally. Have a natural chemistry without all the, I got to save you, you got to save me.
What do you think that the song, the Chris Brown song, Residuals means? What does it mean to you?
Oh, who's going me?
This on you.
I never actually, I heard R. Kelly version. I never actually listened to Chris Brown.
I did.
Sorry.
Not you heard the R. Kelly version.
I
fucking
did.
nuts. Like
That was
honestly.
put out there more than the Chris Brown one.
No, it was not. The Chris Brown. Well, you don't listen to the
I
radio,
did.
so
I
so
don't.
yeah, that's that shit on the radio every day. But go ahead.
On the internet.
Oh, all right.
I feel like in the song he's just talking about, it's about an ex, of course, somebody he's not with anymore, and he's just wondering how's her life going with the other guy. If she's loving him the same way she was loving him, or loving him better, or sharing the same things that she did with him. Giving, like he's talking about, did you give him my nickname and stuff like that. Just him.
What?
Kind of hoping. Yeah, that's what they're.
No, listen.
The song is deep. The song is deep.
So.
Did you give him my nickname?
No, listen. So the one thing, like I said, been married a long time. The one thing that always used to come up because you always have good times or whatnot.
Yeah.
When you're going through a bad time and you really thinking that this could be it, right? The one thing, and that was always said, and I never said it because it wasn't even that's not my thought process, and it's not me trying to absolve myself of anything. It's just to say that I'm not that person. But I have heard you are going to be great for the next person.
Oh yeah.
So that's what the song is about. The song is basically the ex wondering, did you become this great thing for the next person? Who's getting my residuals? Who's getting the things that the better things about you, things that you developed within yourself? And when you took all of that with you, who's reaping the benefit of that?
Damn, I gotta go listen to this song.
Oh, no, this is a hell of a fuck. Chris Brown can write his ass off. Yeah.
Girl, and then the beat don't help. So you just
I love the beat.
Yeah, it's
I never actually listened to.
No, it's a rough joint because, and then I think about that even
That's
in
the story of my life.
like even in the situation that I'm in now, I'm like, yo, that's a deep joint or whatnot. Because you wonder that, but then, you always have to think to yourself like, yeah. Sometimes you gotta let sleeping dogs lie, or you have to let things take the course that they need to take because everything is not for everybody. Right. Oh, I mean, it's. But yeah, you ain't never listened to that shit.
Listen, man,
that shit.
It's a lot of people feeling residuals about me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Oh, for sure.
Because people come back and be like, "Dang, I thought you was this, but then I got with this person, that person." I realized, like, yeah.
So what do you think?
So
Let me ask you live on podcast, Ty, that we can move on to something else. And
What's
we ain't
that?
gonna be too much
What's that?
longer. What do you think you're missing?
I don't know.
Give me a thought. Give me something in your mind.
I can only give you what people say. Like I said, people come back and be like,
No, not what people say. What you think. If there was anything about you that would say, like, and don't give me the broken picker shit, don't give me none of that. I'm talking about what you feel like is keeping you at a point to which that it's a misfire for you.
I just think I haven't found my person, or my person hasn't found me. Or maybe they have and it just was bad timing. I don't know.
Do you ever think that you found a person, you just didn't shoot?
Nah.
Niggas.
I think that it potentially may be a person, but it's it could be bad timing.
But see,
like
but it ain't that what I said before? Ain't that what that's the thing that I said before?
Bad timing is a thing. You know what I'm saying? I've had several people in the last couple of years come back to me and say, I just wasn't ready to receive the person that you were.
Right.
But then again, here's
the messed up part, right? When somebody doesn't receive you as you are, like Dana was saying, like, I'm awkward. Before Issa Rae, it was Taya Moore. You know what I'm saying? Awkward, clumsy,
right,
slew-footed. Everything I do, I drop something all the time.
Please don't say slew-footed. My grandmother used to say slew-footed.
Listen, remember what I said?
Slew-footed is
what
crazy.
I say before in the episode.
Right.
I need a life alert because I be falling all the time. This is a real thing, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like,
right.
Then when somebody doesn't receive you as you are, you start thinking something wrong with you.
Right.
Now you spend all this time,
Right.
and the insecurities get magnified. Like, damn, what's wrong with me? You know
Right,
what I mean?
right.
Like, why isn't what I do enough? Why isn't who I am enough, all of that. And you start to internalize that, right? Just for years later, somebody come back and be like, oh, it wasn't nothing wrong with you. It was me.
Right.
I didn't beat myself up for 2 years over this. And the whole time, I didn't do anything. The whole time, it wasn't who I am. It wasn't how I treated you, anything.
It
was simply
It don't seem like men go through this. It don't seem like men go through this.
And I'm big on accountability. Did your blockers fumble the football or did you fumble the football? I'm always say I fumble the football.
Yeah, having a woman say she big on accountability, that is.
I really am. I really am, right?
Right.
Because if it's always somebody else, it's going to always be somebody else, right? And then it's going to keep being me. That's what people don't understand. If it's never nobody else, it's going to keep being you because you can't see what part you played in the situation that made this happen, right? There are no villains in my life. The only villain in my stories is me. The me that allowed these things to happen, the me that played a part in these situations, the me that had insecurities that, didn't realize, like, I ain't do shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying.
But I'm still grateful for them situations because it did cause me to make changes that I feel like makes me a better person for my person.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
I may have found my person. I don't know. Just might be bad timing. I know I ain't spinning the block.
But bad timing is also what I'm saying is that bad timing is
Let me go
also
back and check.
bad timing is also that thing that lends
I ain't Ashanti.
to. But bad timing is also that thing that leads to the unavailability of a situation. The first thing that we talked about is what happens is that we have this thought process to saying this ain't gonna work because this can't work according to me right now.
That's what it is. That's the definition.
But that's
bad timing.
But that is the exact missing of a blessing. If God, like I said before,
how is it a missing of a blessing?
Because
things happen when they're supposed to.
Wouldn't you?
How you gonna believe in angel numbers and 444?
But at the end of the but if I never,
believe,
but if I ignored everything and didn't pay attention to it and whatnot and did not,
but it's not about ignoring.
But faith without works is dead. If I did not move when I needed to move, or do or shoot or do what I needed to be done and what was necessary, then I would still be in the same place.
But if my ship is sailing and you at the dock, whose fault is that?
But wait,
go ahead, Dan. What you saying?
Wouldn't you? I would rather someone not make that move. If everything is happening for a reason, right?
Right.
So
that's what I'm saying.
You feel like you've met your person. All the green flags are there. You're getting those signs telling you, "Hey, stupid, this is your person."
Right.
And you are, rejecting that on your own is because you're not ready for that, and I would rather you not be ready and not make that step and fumble or.
But isn't that bad timing?
But it is what it is. Like if you weren't ready, then don't bother me, you know? Because then you're going to keep fighting it, just like you fought the urge to say something.
Yeah,
you eventually force it. And then you start dealing with that person,
right?
And it still isn't sitting right in you because you're not ready.
Yeah.
You're going to ruin it for the both of y'all, and
I just think
a waste
that,
of time.
But I think that that's the reason why in certain situations loyalty comes into play even more than the way that you display love, because loyalty is a thing that kind of and. What I say is that I know way more loyal men than I do women. And the reason why is that because a lot of times there are so many different. I'm just saying.
But that's you.
Yeah, but I know. But here's the thing, and I'm not talking about the loyal that y'all talking about. You know what I'm saying? Because niggas is dogs. Dogs. The reason why they call men dogs is because the moment you ain't looking, that motherfucker will hop the fence, go out, wild out, but always come home.
There's other reasons why we call them.
Yeah. No. Listen, no. And I understand that portion of it too, though. But that's one of the reasons. But whatever he's doing when he's out there is part of what dogs do. You'll see a dog on the side of the road humping a fucking trash can because he, after you just gave him a bath. Like dogs is dogs. You know what I'm saying? That's what dogs do. You know what I mean? But what you have to understand is that the loyal portion of it is that he's not just coming home because he has nowhere else to go. He's coming home because he loves his family and he loves who he's with. Now I'm not caping. I'm not caping for dirty niggas right now, which it sounds like I am. What I'm doing is that I'm explaining the way that loyalty works. You know what I'm saying? Especially in a man's brain. What happens is that when a woman is fed up, the loyalty, the respect, all of that shit goes out the window. I'm only doing you with this courtesy because I need you to be the who you've been until I can find my way going. That's the difference between what a man brings with loyalty and what a woman brings. So therefore, that's why it's so important that when you look at these things and we talk about these songs and, you know what I mean, it's the Chris Brown shit, and we talk about the way that things are going to operate when somebody, when you find that person or when you don't find that person, when you figure out that that person is no longer, you know what I mean, suiting you or suitable, the honesty is always a thing. The biggest portion of honesty, but it should start from the beginning. Yeah. It should start from the rip. It should start from, I don't give a fuck. Like it's, people, they make a joke about it. They be like, yo, don't let your man's wife get in the way of you finding your true love. Like, and then they show a picture of Alicia Keys. Ain't that some shit? Like, and women be like, that's fucked up. I'm like, yeah, but Swiss and Alicia have been together for 20 years now.
I mean, yeah, but.
So let me ask you a question, and it was
Portia and Simon broke up after a year and a half. Sometime it worked.
Sometime it works. Sometime it works. But that's a crapshoot in life, shit. Because if Alicia wouldn't have stepped in, they wouldn't have the children they have together. They wouldn't have the life they have together. Unfortunately, it just so happened that nigga had a wife.
But that's also, and I'm not saying
it's crazy.
I'm not saying anything about their relationship, but you also know, like, in that situation,
right?
The woman is looking over her shoulder because everybody believes in the way you got them.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that shit.
No.
I don't believe that.
Very true.
I don't believe that.
No,
I believe that people are who they are, or whatnot, and at the end of the day, that person could be susceptible to being the person that they've been.
I didn't say that's what happened.
If you've been a cheater,
I said
a cheater.
That's the mindset of you looking over your shoulder because you know this was cheating with you.
Yeah,
on
and he
her,
could possibly right.
And who's to say he ain't going to do the same to you?
Right.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that's the mindset. When you start that way, that's how you think.
Would you get with a nigga that you was the side chick for? Would you become the main chick?
No.
Never?
No.
Dana?
I don't know.
Never?
No.
For the reason I just said.
I think that women be more successful in that situation than a man.
It's possible.
There's no way that a man could ever be the side nigga and then step in to be the main nigga. That'd be the nigga. What?
You starting off with a level of distrust because this man was cheating with you.
Yeah, exactly.
And all the little things that he was telling his woman when he was with you, you gonna start because it's just how we built.
But if you
how can I trust somebody that was cheating on their person?
So think about high school.
Me.
Think about high school and college days or whatnot. If you took a nigga from I'm just saying, I'm talking about then, just then. If you took a nigga from a woman and then y'all have a successful relationship, were you looking over your shoulder the whole time?
I've always been looking over my shoulder.
Why have you always been looking over your shoulder?
I just have. Because I never really have had comfort in a situation, right? Mm-hmm. And that's why
you can agree with that too?
That tends to be my number one thing. And that's how sometimes I forego commitment because comfort is there. And I'm not having to look over my shoulder.
I've never.
Hold on to that thought. Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
No,
I've never looked over my shoulder because I've always been confident in the woman that I am to a man and the man that I'm with. Mm-hmm. I always felt like if you didn't see or appreciate that, that would be his problem. Like I never, a lot of times we don't know, guys are really good at lying and they're manipulators and women are too, but whatever.
Oh, whatever. Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
Men right now.
Yeah.
So, but no, just from the situations I've been in, sometimes it's hard to see the truth, Mm-hmm. And it wasn't, so I never felt like I had something that someone else had, or I that I took from someone else. Mm-hmm. Again, there might have been times I did and I didn't know, but I've always known that I'm a good woman. I take pride in the woman that I am.
Right.
So it's like, I didn't feel like I always felt, and then that was my fault too. That was definitely like she said, Mrs. Fix It, or just just wanting to be that nurturing woman because that's just who I am naturally.
Right.
I didn't know how to be any other way.
Nope.
Yeah.
And then I had to learn who deserved that as well. So these are things that we learn over time. We get older, we start paying attention to the red flags. We start, become wiser. Like, oh yeah, I've seen this before. You got a whole family, and you got a side joint down north.
Yo.
Shit is
Get out
crazy.
of my face. You know what I mean? So we peep it as we get older, and this is how you be
So,
in discernment.
When I'm saying
Right.
looking over my shoulder, I'm not saying like, oh, I thought, they was with somebody else
right.
or whatever. It's just like I just never felt like what I said earlier about if I fall back, I know you're gonna catch me.
Right.
Right.
I feel like that with my friends. I got male friends who I know nothing,
But fall
extra,
back
right?
meaning what?
Meaning you just know. Like I got friends that I know, like if it even look like I'm leaning, they're like, Taya, you leaning. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
So that's what you want in a relationship to feel safe. It's like no matter what, I know this person got me. And for me, I have multiple people like that in my life.
The difference.
So I feel like, why would I get in a relationship with somebody who doesn't provide that?
Yeah.
I already have it.
I think the difference in the difference in relationships is that you have to deal with the particulars. You can't generalize.
Yeah.
That's the difference, because what happens is that we can group all the strong way that we feel about our support system and say they're there to support us, but we don't know what the particulars of the things that we need support in. So at the end of the day, if there's a provision factor with the person that you're with, right, and he's paying the majority of the bills in the crib, and for some reason, when you can't cover your portion of the bargain if something happens to you physically, right? I'm just saying. But he has to pick up that slack or whatnot. What happens in these things is that people it's very, very easy to look at particulars and say, this don't really mean nothing because I'm willing to be a part of what he needs to do in order to fulfill this whole situation. But there's going to be times when you can't.
Right.
So therefore, if that person has to, a lot of women say that they don't feel protected is because they don't know what he'll be like in that pinch. They don't know the way if his provisional factors are going to be able to fulfill what they need. They don't know if he can be strong enough to hold the household down if she has a nervous breakdown. They don't know how she's going to deal when she loses a parent. They don't know how she doesn't know that. So essentially, that's the reason why I said it has to be particular. There could be a difference. There could be a nigga that leaves with all bread and the nigga he dumb as a box of fucking rocks.
Right.
But she was cool with him leading with bread before because it was just about the money. But now she has a hole in her heart because she lost her mother. So now this nigga don't know how to deal with that. So now she says, I don't feel protected by you because you don't have what it takes to bring this to the forefront. Or it could be another thing where that nigga's not the greatest of providers when it comes to the money side of a situation, but what happens is that these things trickle down and cause her nervousness, or she has she has something going on inside of her that she doesn't feel safe with you because I feel like I gotta always hold us up financially. So therefore now I don't know what it's going to be like for you when I can't. So that's the reason why I say it's particular. Like it's so cool to say I got friends and my family and they always gonna love me no matter what. But I didn't got a cousin on fucking planet Earth, and I love my cousins to death, that if I'm in a pinch, if I'm going to be homeless tomorrow, will be able to say, here, cuz, here go 10 grand. Yeah. And it's not because they won't. It's probably because they can't. Some of them won't. Some of them can't. Right. So it's just that's the reason why it's just particular. Or if I'm in depression, they don't know the words to say to me. Yeah. My father passed away in January. I had cousins that couldn't call me because they didn't know how I would react to that. Yeah. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the reason why I say these things are particular. It's so particular. It's not as like, and I understand that it's easy to generalize these things because it's like I need to feel protected, but men, this is when, and maybe it's me being Aries, but men, but I need to particular.
Being extremely because literal.
Because as a man,
I was not being literal.
But men show up. But wait, listen. Men show up in so many different ways. and let me just say, I'm not gonna say men. People show up in relationships in so many different ways, right? And I'm talking about in every fucking way possible. Before you know it, you can't, like, I'm seeing it firsthand and whatnot. I'm like, oh shit, I ain't got a broom. Oh shit, I ain't got a whatchamacallit. I'm leaning on my friends to let me know what I need in order to fulfill part of the gap that I'm missing. But I don't feel not protected. I just know that this is where I'm landing right now. And this, I think a lot of times what happens is that and it's like I say about anything else, this is the filler piece that is being thrown out there because it sounds good for the niggas that actually don't protect. Like, oh, you niggas don't protect out here. So you know what? Us as a group, we don't feel protected by you all. No, it's you, and you. Because you pick the drug dealer, you pick the nigga that's on crack, and you pick the nigga that really don't care about you and got 6 other baby moms. So you don't feel protected by this nigga because this nigga is not there for you. You didn't do the right, you didn't put yourself in the right position. Not the nigga that's busting his ass and doing everything he can do. Don't not feel protected by this nigga. Or if you don't, be like, well, you know what? Nah, nigga, you short. I don't feel protected because somebody gonna beat you the fuck up. I don't know. I'm rambling, but it's so many. That's why I'm saying, but so many particulars, though.
You're being literal. I was not being literal.
But that's
so. Let me explain. First of all, I don't think I have to say that everybody in my life does not show up for me,
right,
in the same way, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's just the mindset of I got tired. It don't mean I got tired in every situation.
Okay,
it's just the feeling of I got tired. You just want to feel like somebody got you. Yeah, it's going to be a time when they're going to fall short, right? Like you said, everybody don't know how to handle depression because it might not have been something they dealt with before.
Right.
Everybody don't know how to handle you losing a parent, whatever. But they're going to try. And that's still in the same realm of I got you, right? It could be something I'm going through, that I can tell you and you're like, I can't help you with this, right? That's not going to be me now saying, I know if I fall, Keith can't catch me. No. You might not can't catch me in that moment. That don't mean you can't catch me at all. So what I'm saying is you just want a person that their mindset, their intention is the key word, is to always have you. Is to always catch you. Even if they don't get it right. That's their intention. But there are people that you deal with. For example, you tell them something going on, they like, damn, that's crazy. They don't even say, well, I don't know how to help you with that personally, but let's figure out if we can find another way to do it. They just be like, damn, that's crazy. That's on you. That's the difference between somebody that's going to catch you and somebody that's going to let you fall.
But perception is reality.
No,
listen. Perception is reality in a lot of spaces.
You get what I'm saying, Dana?
I understand. Yeah, I get it. But perception is reality in a lot of spaces. What happens is that you can perceive.
We're not talking about perception.
Just listen. You can perceive somebody as not having you because you don't know what their strength factor is. If you put it like this, let's make it literal for a second. Just listen to me. Let's make it literal for a second. If you fall and I catch you, right? And I'm like, I'm going to carry you to the corner. And you say, I don't know if you can carry me to the corner. And I'm telling you, I got you. You feel like I can't do it because that's the way you feel about me. Or you just feel about me at that moment in that situation. But if I carry you to the corner and you're wrong, that's an entirely different conversation.
Why are we talking about carrying to the corner?
Because I'm making it literal.
If you catch me, that's all I need you to do.
But no, because you might need carrying to the corner.
If you
just listen to what I'm saying. I'm making it literal. That's the reason I'm saying you might need to get to the corner. If somebody is saying that, in order for somebody to say I feel something, there is the only basis that you have off of feeling something is past discretions, and past experiences. You can't say that you feel like something when something is going on in that very moment. Like if I can look at the door and be like, I feel like somebody gonna bust through the door and shoot me. Yeah, I'm saying it's a feeling. You can't tell somebody how to feel. It's just a feeling, though.
So wait, let me
Go
explain.
ahead.
I know what Taya's trying to say. So,
Thank you.
It comes from or stems from.
Talk to the mic.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
The feeling per se comes from an independent woman, right?
Right.
Now, we didn't really ask to be, or, an
Okay.
independent woman, but
Right.
life
Right.
situations kind of forced us to be.
Right.
And when it pertaining to a relationship or dating or feeling safe with a man,
Right.
it's not really about feeling like they have our backs per se, but
Yeah.
it's the fear of disappointment.
Okay.
Like,
Okay.
we
Right.
like we mentioned, we're nurturing, we're giving, we're always pouring into someone,
Mm-hmm.
and we feel like at the moment we really need them.
Yeah.
Not even a feeling, just actual experiences.
Right. Right.
It's literally a form of PTSD. You will do everything you can for an individual that you love and care about, and then when you need them, there's excuses. Or
Yeah. I see what you're saying.
okay,
Why I don't
I'll
set
see,
expectations no more.
or let me see, or let's I'll let you know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We dealt with a lot of that, so it's like. That's where the unsafe feeling comes from. Like, shit, like, okay, yeah, I got you. I've proven that. And
Yeah.
but I don't, and that's what we mean by having us. Like, if we ever really need you for whatever it is, we've gotten let down a lot. So it's hard for us to feel safe with men because we've been let down so much. And then you'll turn around and see that man do 10 times more for
Yeah.
the woman that you found out he was cheating on you with.
Residuals.
Or his behind the scenes,
Yeah.
he was taking care of his baby mom, and that he still considered his family, and you didn't know because he
Right.
was lying to you all the time. And of course, you loved him, so you were ignoring a lot of red flags because you were young and you didn't know any better.
Right.
Having that fear of disappointment is a form of PTSD, but it's that wall we put up is a defense mechanism for us.
Right.
And we don't
Right.
want it there. It's just that, it's imprinted in us because we've experienced it so much, so we really, and then again, feeling that safeness with friends that's totally different. But one thing I will say, and I know this is hard, I know it's hard because, I'm still experiencing it, but in order to want love, you have to be vulnerable.
Oh, of course, absolutely.
And it's
You have to be soft.
No, not soft. Not soft. Say that again.
He has a problem.
Vulnerable.
And it's hard and it's scary, and I know,
Right.
but it is something that I will say not to give up on. It's of course act and move with discernment.
Oh, yeah.
We're older now, we're wiser, so we know the red flags, we know the signs, we gotta pay attention. Even if it feels good, we gotta know. That little nauseous feeling we have, we gotta listen to that sometimes. But it will take you putting yourself out there and being yourself and being open and being vulnerable and allowing some of that hurt to come in order for you to determine if that hurt where you're experiencing that, even that little bit. You don't want to take a lot in, but even if you're experiencing that little bit of hurt, just sometimes it's necessary. It's one of those steps you have to take with someone that you feel like is worth it, and you'll know. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm gonna say this.
And we're gonna close. We're gonna close in a minute. I love this conversation. We're gonna close. We're gonna come back for a part two.
I am transparent.
Right.
Yes, you
Right.
are.
That was one of the reasons why I wrote my book, because if I could be vulnerable with the world, I could be vulnerable
That's right.
with my person. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really have that wall anymore.
Okay.
You know what I
Right.
mean? I don't really have the waiting for the other shoe to drop, but I don't flinch when it drops. That's the difference. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I've also removed expectations, because expectations
That's right.
lead to disappointment. At the end of the day, I'm only accountable for me. I can't say what you're going to do.
I'm just in.
I can't figure out what you're going to do. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, that's me, right? That's how I learned to move.
Yeah.
Ayala said, you watch how people love and decide if you want to participate.
That's right.
I move like that with everything now, because I am only in control of Taya.
That's right.
I can't control him.
That's right.
You know what I mean? I can't say what he's going to do.
Exactly.
I can't say what his intentions are. Only thing I can do is watch, right? And as I watch, I decide, oh, this is a person that if I fall, he's going to catch me. And I don't mean that literally.
Yeah.
Even if you just listen, even if it's something going on and all you do is give an ear, that's you catching me. Like, everybody has a different definition
for catching.
of what protection is.
Right.
I'm almost
See,
44.
in fact,
Hold on.
That's the thing.
I'm almost 44 years old. And the most protection I need at this point is somebody that is going to protect me emotionally. That's it.
That's where
All this other shit that people be talking about. Oh, he got to pay all the bills. Oh, he got to do.
Right.
No, I'm already living. I already paying whatever I got to pay, doing what I got to do. What I don't have is somebody that is protecting me emotionally.
Like
that I don't have.
There you go.
And even, your friends protect you emotionally, but it's different when it's on an intimate level.
Right.
Right.
That's what I always say to people, like, y'all love me. Y'all are there for me.
Right.
I got a whole lot of people that feel that way about me, right?
Yeah.
But I want the one person that I have the intimate connection with that feels that way about me too. That's the second part.
Right.
It's the intimacy.
Yeah.
I don't have intimacy with family or close friends. I have the protection. I have the support. I have the love. I don't have the intimacy. And that's the difference.
I like that. I also, in closing, I just think that it's always best.
And stop being triggered by the word soft because it's not negative.
No, it's not. I'm not
Want
saying it. I'm not saying
women
that. But I
to
don't.
be
Right. I
soft.
don't want to feel. I always don't want to fill every word in that has to do with women with soft because that's cool. But
Women are supposed to be soft.
But no, I understand that. But particular words mean things. If we said vulnerable, I don't want to just put soft there just because that's
But
what.
that's
it is.
really what when women are saying that. That's really what
I
it
get
means.
what you're saying and whatnot, but a man wouldn't say that. That's what I'm saying. Is
Well,
words.
women are talking.
Understood, but words mean things. That's all I'm saying. I get that portion of it. But
No, Aries.
what I'm saying is that I feel like in a situation is
We gotta
always
do this without arguing.
it's always a good thing. It's always a better thing to shoot a basket in the sport that you're playing and perfect that rather than embracing yourself for a football hit when you're playing basketball.
That is
'Cause
very true.
that's what it is and
I like
whatnot.
that.
If you're shooting, shoot.
I like
Don't be
that.
like, you know what, I'm waiting for the shoe to drop to get hit by a goddamn linebacker.
Don't shoot
You know what I'm
like
saying? I'm playing basketball. What the fuck happened? You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of what I'm talking about when I say that.
Don't shoot like John Morant though. Don't do that. Don't.
All right, I'll let you. Oh yeah, not that shot. I got it. Hold on, my head one second. I got it.
Don't shoot like John Morant. You know
Oh
what I'm saying?
man, get with us on
Don't shoot
IG
like
at Mr_KnowItAll_pod, the Facebook fan page, the Mr. Know It All podcast fan page, Mr. Know It All podcast on TikTok, and please, as always, send all of your fuckery, duckery, and schmuckery over to the Gmail account at MrKnowItAllPod@gmail.com. That's MrKnowItAllPod@gmail.com. With the city behind me, this has been great.
Hey,
Oh
yes.
my goodness, episode
Welcome
200
back.
has been excellent. Thank you, thank
came
you, y'all
back with
too
a
for y'all
bang.
support. I really appreciate it.
We've been here all day.
Of course.
I know. Hopefully, I know.
Okay.
I figured it would be. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully next week Kelly Q will be back. Much love to my partner in crime.
Kelly.
On behalf of
sister,
myself.
We gonna win that. We gonna win. We
Oh
gonna
yeah.
win.
By the way, and
Handle
whatnot.
2 gonna win.
Bob-
Just let y'all know.
By the way, that QR code either up here or down here somewhere in the video. Please scan it. It will take you to Eventbrite where you can purchase your tickets. They $25. Listen, purchase it. Be there, be in the building. We got all types of interactive things going on. They got great food. They have great liquor. It's gonna be a great time. It's
We're gonna
be
have a
great
signature
vibe.
drink.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? For single ladies, you can meet your husband there or your next baby dad. It don't really matter. You know what I'm saying? Just come
Your
through.
next baby dad.
Yeah.
We not promoting intentionally creating broken homes like Anthony Edwards.
God,
Anyway,
why
go
be
ahead.
all that? Like
ahead,
she
go
could
ahead.
have, you know, she might
Go
just
ahead.
like him. God damn. Anyway,
From a baby is crazy.
I know it's
Right,
wild.
that's
It's
Anthony
wild.
Edwards type behavior.
It's not Anthony. Oh, yeah, it is Anthony Edwards. Right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
3 kids, 3 moms at 23 is a bit much.
Yeah, that's a little wild.
Yeah.
He just won't stop. Put it down. Like, God damn.
And then try to stop the baby from getting here. But anyway, go ahead.
I am Mr. Know-It-All. That's Taya. That was Star before she left.
Yeah.
Shout out to
Hey,
Star.
my girl.
And that's Dana K.
My other
You will
girl.
see us all in effect on May the 4th, 2025. The Empire Strikes Back. May the 4th be with you. And now it's time to say goodbye to all my Negro friends. Love you dearly. Episode 200 is in the books. And I'm back.
We back.
Well, you shouldn't be such a smart mouth, Mr. Know-It-All.